All right, guys, welcome back to Photographics Academy. So this particular video will be divided into 3 parts, right? The first part will be how to clean up your studio backdrop. So if that is the challenge you've been having, you can stop right there. Then the second part is obviously going to be how to now change your studio backdrop when you have finished cleaning up your background. If you also want to stop there, you can decide to stop there. Then the last part is how to add shines and glamour to the skin using a plugin that I'm going to be showing you at the end of the video. So without wasting much of your time, let's quickly get started. This is the background we are going to be using. We make this post, we posted the picture a few days ago, and people have been, asking, how did you do that? How did you clean your backdrop? How did you do all of that? So we decided to do a video about it. So if you have seen that picture, this video is for you. This is how we did it. The first thing you need to do, that I will always say, is you can decide to crop your picture. Yeah, I think that's the first thing. So crop your picture to the desired size you want. So because of the light over there, I'll just keep her somewhere around here and push the cropping from this side. Go. I'll make sure my content aware is turned on, then I'll press OK. So we are going to get extra backdrop towards the right hand side of the image. Good. So the next thing to do is, of course, to clean the background. And how do we do the cleaning? Very important. There are a lot of ways you can do that. The first thing I will do is to use my patch tool and fix all these very obvious patches over here. Right. So once I get them fixed, then we'll proceed with second one. Now, this is not the only way you can do this in Photoshop. Of course, your remove tool might be able to do the job for you, but I'm using patch tool because I know a lot of persons that might see this video will not be using the version of Photoshop that has remove tool. So let's try as much as we can to use what you can maybe use in your own. Okay, so once that is taken care of, the next thing I'll do is to use my lasso tool and make a selection around the background like this. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to fill off all this area. So just select it. After selecting, right click and go to fill, layer fill, not this particular fill, sorry, go to your edits all the way down to content aware fill. Yeah, this is one you are going to be using, so that we can see the results quickly before we remove its variable. So this is the result. We're going to press enter, and it's going to fill up all that space for us. Cool. So now the next step is to separate the object from the background. You see, we have lost all the whole softbox and all of that. So make a selection of your object. What was that? That wasn't my subject. We didn't flatten this all. Okay, so right click, go to select inverse and modify your selection. Very, very important. So I think that side will be okay. The only side we will need to make some changes is the ribbon on her dress. So those minus it from the selection. Okay, so we check out for this area as well. Okay, so here as well. Okay, so I think we can work with this. Whatever that is remaining, we can fix much more later. Now, if we don't do this next step, we're going to have a lot of white edge fringes to fight towards the end of this video, or towards the end of the composite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my select, go to modify, and I'm going to use expand just by 2 pixels to push it in a little bit here. So what I just did now is going to save me all those milkish kind of whitish fringes you get at the edge of your images when you are cutting them out from your background. So make a duplicate, right click and go to layer via cut. So we'll have our object on a separate layer now, then we'll have our background on a separate layer. But if we hold our alternate and click on this eye, you are going to notice that our background is empty in the middle, which is not what we want. So I'm going to use my control, select the object, go back to my background, go to select, go to modify. So this time around, we'll expand maybe by 10 so that it goes to use the edges of her body. Look at that. So once that is done, right click, go to fill, content aware fill. Good. So press Ctrl D. If I turn off my background, my image now, you notice that I will now have a very empty, clean background. Now, how do we clean it up? Very simple. Go to your filter, go to blur, go to Gaussian blur. Blur it out E until it becomes almost as smooth as a seamless plain background. So I think I want it at 176. Press enter. So now if I turn on my image back, you notice she's standing on a very clean background. So if you want to work with this, you can actually stop here, maybe put up a solid color. Remember, this is not exactly what we came to do. Maybe a lighter red so that she can be out, or even a very dark one, maybe somewhere around here. Change the blend mode to maybe overlay or something. It's going to give you really sweet color. If you change the hues of this, you'll be getting different shades of colors that will still look good on your image. I actually like what the green is looking like for her, although we are not going to stick with that. So remember, I told you the video is divided into 3. So we are in the background part now. If this is where you want to stop, all you need to do is to restore your shadows. Just make a duplicate of this one, bring it above, change the blend mode, use mask and hide it, and just restore the shadows where it should be. But that is not what we're doing, so I'm going to skip that part. Let's get back to what we came to do. So when you are done smoothing out your background, you now go to the background you want to use, right? I'll also crop it exactly the same size I cropped the other one, so it fits in perfectly. Then unlock your layer, use your move tool and drag it over, place it on your image right there. Then scale it in until it looks natural. So keep it somewhere around here. Beautiful. Press OK. Then change the blend mode to overlay. Nice one. Yeah. Okay, so overlay does the job. Press OK. Now, if you look at the image, Barbara looks too saturated, right? It looks too saturated and it's competing with our image. So on a normal, you can actually use your hue and saturation and desaturate it and get the same result. But the way we went, the route we went, or the way we went was that we went to our color lookup table and we found a color lookup table that just desaturates. Look at that one. Beautiful. That just desaturates and still retains our texture and our contrast, something like this. So once we brought it in, we reduced it, right? We reduced it. So we'll still have the glow effect behind her, the golden effect and all of that right there behind her. And we created a vignette effect right in the middle of the image. So pick up your curves, go to your curves, and those, do a curves adjustment layer like this. Then pick up your brush, make sure it's a hard brush. And so it's a hard brush, and punch the hole in the middle like this. Once you do that, go to your curve icon and go to your mask. It's going to load up the property and just smoothen it out. So it gives you that beautiful glow effect right in the middle. So what this does is that each time you are looking at the image, it draws your attention to the center of the frame. If you don't want it on the floor as well, you can also use your brush and restore it back to the floor. So it looks like the light is pointing there and on the floor, which I might want to do. Let's see the way it looks on the image. So this one, I'm not going to make it hard. I'll just, soften it out like that. Okay, not bad. So the next thing I want to do is to actually restore the shadows, which I don't think is actually necessary, because with the curves and all of that, we have gotten a very dark floor that looks realistic. But in case you want to restore your shadow, just go to your main background layer and, dab around the edges. The shadows are going to come back. Now I'll go around and make sure that my edges are fine. So if you look at this area, you notice there are some areas we didn't select properly. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a mask here and just, paint over this edge slightly like that. Good. at this area as well, just like that. So you notice we don't have white fringes at the edge because of that stuff we did in the beginning. So if we didn't do that, we're going to have white fringes at the edge of the image. So the last step to take, of course, is to do your global color grading. So come over here, go to color record tables, and find a muted background as well. I like this, but it's going to look too warm. It's going to look too warm for now. Going to look too warm. My sample image is actually toned down, so we're going to go for something quite toned down. I like this. This is beautiful. Where it brings out her skin color and all of that. So let's work with this. I like the way the red is a bit more vibrant and the colors pushed down. So the next thing we will do is to create, some glossiness on her skin. How do we do that? We're going to match everything up together. So let's create a stamp visible layer over here. Then go to my curves, create my curves adjustment layer with the mask there. Then pick up this particular plugin right here called MVP Lumizome. So the reason I created this mask is that the plugin has a way of targeting masks. So it's simply a plugin that uses luminosity masking to target specific places in your image. So if I didn't create the mask, it's going to create the mask for me automatically. So what I do is that once you create your mask with your curve and you just start clicking on them, it will start mapping that stuff you want on the image. So if you look here, you'll be able to tell the exact area that is selected and the area that is not. And that is how we'll move until we get the part of her skin that we want. You can even brighten up the whole stuff so that as you are moving it, you'll be seeing the effect on your image straight up. Good. I like this one. I like this one. But let's see if we have something else. I like that particular one there, the way it handled her highlights. So I'm going to, of course, drop it down, right? I'm going to drop it down. Then use my brush and remove it from the places I do not want it. I want it on her body, these areas. I like it there. So I'll just use my brush and remove it from the areas that I do not want it, like this. So if we do before and after, we'll be able to tell where it is in particular. So now we'll have it basically on her skin. And to reduce the intensity, of course, we need to decrease the feather so that it spreads out perfectly well. Look at that, the before. The after, it gives us that beautiful glow. We'll drop it down just a little bit. And this is the final result. This is how you do it. So this is where we started. Although there are some areas we didn't record today, yes? Then this is the final result. This is the before. This is the final record. Thank you so much for watching this amazing video. Do make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you get notified every single time we will drop a new video. You cannot afford to miss what we'll have coming for you this period. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one.